all good things must come to an end, and such is Justin Wodtly's time as a Sun Devil. Over his 2 seasons in Tempe, the former Cincinnati transfer became a key part of ASU's defensive line and a critical voice in the locker room. For good measure, he ended his career on a 6 game sack streak. And now it's time for him to chase his NFL dreams. On this episode, we discuss his ASU career, his NFL draft prep, how his time in Tempe changed his life, and so much more. So let's get to it. Here's my conversation with Justin Wodtly. All right, Justin, I got to start off with a question from one of your former D line mates there. This one's coming from Elijah O'Neill. He wants to know which D lineman eats the most during team meetings.
During team meetings, which D lineman eats the most? I have to say either him. I don't know why he's asking this question. He's on the list up for either him or Elijah. I mean, him or Jacob Kangaika. So it's one of those two. He asking the question. He want to get caught out by himself, huh?
Nice. All right. So, of course, you're from Ohio, from the Cleveland area, but you have good sense, and your family, of course, is Steelers fans. So, got to ask you your take. Now that the Mike Tomlin era is over, who do you want to see take over our team?
Man, I'm not sure, man. I was this close to getting a chance to play for Mike Tomlin. But man, I don't know, man. I feel like over the years, over really the history of the Steelers organization, they've done great jobs at finding head coaches and people to lead that program, man. So I feel like whatever decision or whatever route they go in, I feel like it's definitely the team and the organization is definitely going to be in good hands for sure.
So, of course, that obviously would be a dream destination for you, but, you're in the middle of your preparation for the upcoming NFL draft here in a couple of months. So you're up in Denver getting ready for it. What's kind of walk us through kind of a day in the life of an NFL draft prospect and obviously the massive amount of preparation for that.
Man, it really comes down to just being focused. Everything you're not training like a football player anymore. It's more really training like a track athlete. So you're a lot of resistance sprints and a lot of endurance things to make you more have more stamina over a longer period of time and stuff like that. So I'm training for about 3 hours every day, and not only are you training, but you have to attack the recovery process and the rehab process just as serious, man. Or as the days get longer and longer, man, you'll start to fall off the edge, man. So just coming up here, staying focused, staying disciplined, eating right, getting on meal plans and trying to cut, most of the junk food and stuff like that out of your diet. You like, for me personally, I came up here from ASU and I got a chance to disconnect. I don't have no family in Colorado. I don't have no, friends or anything like that up here. So I feel like it's giving myself an opportunity to disconnect and focus on my craft, man, because these next 8 to 10 weeks are the most important 8 to 10 weeks of my life, man. I got one of the biggest interviews, in a sense, coming up, man. So really just staying true to all the things that you said you want to stay true to, man, and continue to chase your dreams. And I feel like everything out here, trust me, it's not easy at all, especially with the altitude and stuff like that, man. But just, at the end of the day, man, when things get hard, you got to ask yourself if you really love this. And the answer for me is always going to be yes, man. So always putting one foot in front of the other, man, and the rest will take care of itself.
Of course, that's an exciting new chapter that hopefully will be opening up for you here, and we'll dive into that a little bit more later on. But of course, the last chapter came to a close just a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, partaking in a bowl game, kind of the modern landscape of college sports, so to speak, it might become a rarity for guys with NFL draft aspirations. But why was it important for you and maybe guys like Jacob and Ghost, to get out there one final time and play in that bowl?
Man, it's just an opportunity to give back to the guys who gave me an opportunity, man. Coach Dilly, Coach Reynolds, Coach Amy, all those guys, man, they really took a chance on me coming out the portal, man. So who am I to, if I'm healthy, if I can go, if I can go out there and give it my all, who am I to sit out? Who am I to, just take a game off, man? This is what we train every day for. This is what Camp T is for. This is what, those dominators, those big squat Fridays is for. So if I have an opportunity to play, I'm always going to take advantage of it, man, for sure.
Now, you've been one of the kind of the emotional heart and soul guys on this team during your time here, and as I saw you walking off there in the field in El Paso, a lot of emotions there. So in that moment, what were some of the things going through your head and your heart, as you played your final college game?
Man, it was a bittersweet experience, man. The outcome didn't come out like we wanted, man. But every time I get an opportunity to put those pads on, especially with the guys in that locker room, man, it was surreal. It was definitely like one of the funnest years. My 2 years at ASU were the best football that I've ever been a part of, man, in my entire career, man. From 6 years old to now, man, this was the most fun, the greatest people that I've got to surround myself with, man. So walking off the field, man, knowing that chapter was coming to an end, and it's time to chase after the new chapter, man. It was a bittersweet feeling, man, because I cherish this university and I cherish this group of guys with me, long after the whistle stops, for sure.
Looking back at that 2025 season, where did you see, perhaps the most growth in your game?
Man, it started slow for me. I got hurt, fractured two ribs in our first game of the season. Um, then I missed the Mississippi State game, and then trying to come back after Texas State, getting the swing of things. I felt like things started to, it wasn't taking off as fast as I wanted, man. So I want to say probably around our first bye week, before we went up to play Utah, I had to reflect, man. I'm a third way through my last college football season. It's not really going how you want it. And you're either gonna accept that and allow it to continue happening, or you're gonna do something about it and change it, man. So really attacked film study, talked to my dad, talked through frustrations that I was having on the field, and really just trusting my coaches, trusting my teammates around me, and trusting in the play calls that Coach Ward is calling from the box and things like that, man. And I feel like after that, from pretty much Utah on, like everything was on, a steady incline for me, man. And I felt like just disconnecting and trusting the game and trusting the people around me was definitely a testament to that, because I can't tell you that, I went out there and I just completely revamped how I was playing football, man. I went out there, I was doing the same exact things, man, but you come out here and you focus a little bit more, and you tighten up the things that you need to tighten up on. You do a lot of self-scouting, and man, the sky's the limit for really anybody.
Of course, you ended on a 6-game sack streak, so a pretty nifty way to end the career. What's it like just kind of being in that zone? When you said you're not really doing anything different than you were before, but everything's just kind of working, and you refocused, and finally getting those results to go with that effort.
Yeah, man, it's all about not hunting plays, man. When you get out there and you itching and I gotta go get a sack, that's when things tend not to go your way, man. So when you just going with the flows of the game, man, I feel like some games it was 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I ain't have no sacks. And then you just pop up, get one right there, man. It's just trusting the ebbs and flows of the game, man, and trusting, our D line was elite. Clayton, Prince, Elijah, CJ, Jacob, man, there's no way that you can double team any one of us consistently, man. So it's all about going out there and winning your one-on-ones, man. You study your opponent all week, and you find out the little tendencies that they struggle with, and you attack it, man. It's all about film study and trusting the guys and trusting in our coaches, man. That's what made the last half of the season, man, very exciting for myself.
What do you think were some of the keys to the resiliency that this team showed? Obviously, injuries were such a huge issue for the team at some key spots, but week in, week out, this team showed remarkable heart, and won a lot of games that in some pretty tough circumstances.
Absolutely, man. I don't think really any game we won this year was a blowout or anything like that. So it was really everybody coming together as a collective, locking in and coming together for a common goal, man. When people went down, Sam got hurt. Nobody, oh my God, what's going to happen? Everybody had full faith in Jeff Sims, full faith in the next receiver up if JT goes down, or if Shaman gets hurt, or Xavier Alford gets hurt, man. Everybody had that next man up mentality, and it showed, when we played on the field. We played passionate. We played hard for one another, man. And you can't say that about every university, man. Some things tend to crumble and fold, but I feel like the foundation that Coach Dillingham is made this team on and made this program on is so solid that nobody really flinches when you have adversity. You know, our whole motto this season was, how are we going to respond to not only success, but respond to failure as well, man? And I feel like um, overall through the course of the season, we did that very well. We went to the bowl game. I want to say Coach Dilly said it was something like 35 people that either a starter or a rotational guy that sat out that game or was hurt. And we still took Duke all the way down to the wire, man, with who knows who was playing on the back end, a lot of young guys and stuff like that, man. But it was just a next man up mentality for us. And I feel like that's not only gonna end this year. I feel like that staff is doing a really good job of making that a mentality and something that the program will lean on going forward.
The defense really was balling out all year long. One of the most impressive, start to finish defensive seasons that I've seen in my time covering Sun Devils, which goes back many years at this point. But of course, so many key injuries, as you mentioned, on the offense with Sam, JT, Ben going down in the middle of that line, Kyson as well. Did the defense ever feel maybe extra pressure, just knowing that the offense was so banged up and going through so many issues that you guys really kind of had to hold the line, knowing that maybe the margin of error wasn't necessarily as big as perhaps in 2024?
I mean, a little bit you think like that, but not really, man, because at the end of the day, the offense's job is to score. And the defense's job is to stop the opposing offense from scoring. Regardless of if people are hurt or if people are not hurt, that's always your goal. So really just staying true to how we play defense. To me, honestly, I feel like our defense was better this year than it was last year. And as far as, the D-line specifically, our pass rush got improved entirely, man. You guys like Keyshawn and Crook behind us just scraping over, just coming free, making all the open field tackles, man. Trusting in those guys, Javen and Keith on them, and then Boogie and Ghost behind us. I felt like nobody really flinched, man. Everybody was ready for everything that the season had to offer, man. Regardless of if it was injuries, man, if it was losses early on in the season, nobody really got discouraged or got flat with energy, man. We always played hard for one another because I feel like with this group, it was way more than football with us, man. Everybody gelled together. Everybody really cared about each other on and off the field. So when you look to your right or you look to your left and I see CJ fight and I know he's going to give me everything he got, I owe it to him to give him everything that I have as well, man. So I feel like that was just the mentality of our defense as well.
When you look kind of back now that, the season's over, a little bit of time to kind of process everything. And of course, you guys came in, massive external expectations, probably, even more so in the locker room. Did the expectations and the weight of those maybe impact the course of the season at all?
Not necessarily, man. I feel like the expectations were always to go in 1 week at a time and beat your opponent, man. And in this game, in college football, it's hard to win, so everything's not always going to fall your way. But just staying true to Coach Dilly's vision for the program, staying true to the mottos and the things that our coaching staff was really putting together, man. I feel like from the top to the bottom, man, our leadership, not only as players on the team, but the great men that lead our program as coaches and the support staff and stuff like that, man. Everything clicks. It's like one huge puzzle piece, man. So I feel like nothing really makes us flinch or nothing really makes us, worry or too discouraged, man. We have the utmost faith in our ability to go out there and compete with pretty much anybody in the country.
You mentioned the pass rush really grew by leaps and bounds from 2024 to 25. So many different options that you guys threw at the quarterback, but also just the camaraderie in that defensive line room of just covering practice every day. I was always trying to be near the D line because it's always a good time. You guys always had a lot of personalities there. What made the Rushmen special?
Man, our group, man, we go out there, we have fun every day, man. If you see somebody down, you joke with them, you pick them right back up, man. And everybody, we were so good, like balancing each other. Clayton and Prince, those really good pass rushers coming off the edge, and then you got Elijah and Watt. We the the big edges, they like to call us, man. We got the big edges and the speed edges. So just really everybody embracing their role, man. CJ getting out there a little bit on our third down packages, man. And I'm just, our motto in the D line room is if one wins, we all win, man. So nobody was really selfish down there. Everybody loved watching each other eat. Everybody loved watching each other make plays. And I feel like you can see that in our celebrations and stuff after big plays, man. Everybody celebrating with each other. So I feel like that was probably the most unique thing about our room, man, that nobody was selfish, man. Nobody really cared anything too much about stats. They came to you like Prince. You got the hot hand in the TCU game, ended up with 3 sacks, man. And then end of the season, I get the hot hand or Elijah gets the hot hand, man. Whoever really is out there, man, we all are happy for it, and we're all, love one another, and everybody wants to make it on the next level. So just having those opportunities to bond with guys who all have a common goal and all work as hard as you, and that at any given moment, man, there's not one person in that room that's going to quit from the starting lineup all the way to the back of the room, guys, man. Everybody had faith in everybody to play, man. So just me, and I'm doing my part too, man, helping get guys to ASU and keep that same thing going in that D-line room, man, because you got to replace a lot of bodies, man, who had a lot of production, man. So just keeping that the main focus, man, and nobody gets selfish and everybody, really bounces off one another. I feel like that's what made our room so unique and what made our room so powerful.
Of course, you and the Prince, Clayton, and Elijah. That's the tier 2 deep at at edge. Moving on to hopefully they'll play on Sundays, but a lot of opportunities for some of the younger guys. Who are some of those returning linemen that you think may be able to step up and fill that and carry on that Rushman standard?
Man, I feel like there's going to be no drop off. I mean, you got guys like Roman Petrie, man, who's going to be going into his 3rd year in the defense. Man, he's going to go out there and spring ball. He's not going to blink, man. I'm so excited to see him get his opportunity, man. And guys like Albert, man, who's going to attack this offseason and put on a lot of weight so he could be more than just, a third down guy. Ramar Williams, man, he's going to be huge. We didn't get to see what, Michael Gardner could do last year, man. You got him blazing. You got, man, the list goes on. Like this room, I feel like is like we lost a lot of guys, but I feel like it's still going to be stacked, man. And each and every one of those guys are ready for their opportunity, man. And I'm excited. I'm gonna be in Tempe a lot next year watching these guys, man. So I'm excited to see what they do. And I know a couple of the new guys that are coming in too, man. Jalen Thompson coming from Michigan State. I actually hosted him on his visit to Cincinnati, man. So I know he's going to be a killer coming into that room as well, man. So all these guys, man, just coming out there. Zach Swanson, him battling through injury. I can't wait to see what he does when he gets healthy, man. So all these guys, I feel like the room is going to be in really good hands, man. And we pass the keys to the right guys at the right time.
Kind of on that passing the keys note, obviously you were such a key part of the team culture that really kind of manifested in the resiliency, the ability to overcome adversity, and with so many veterans leaving now, how did that group of kind of older veteran guys like yourself kind of prepare the younger guys to pass that baton and carry on that standard?
Man, leading by example, man. When you got guys in your locker room like Keyshawn Elliott or Jordan Crook, who's a real vocal person, man. You got guys that just gravitate to that energy, gravitate to that standard, man. So I feel like these last 2 years, everybody that Coach Dilly has on his team has made it a standard to live up to the standard. Like nobody accepts mediocrity out of this program, from Coach Dilly and Coach Joe all the way down to whoever else, man. So whether that's Tyler Wigglesworth, who's going to go out there and give me everything he got, running down on punt, or Jeff Sims, who got to run for 238 yards against Iowa State. So I feel like everybody really just bought in, man. And that's, I feel like to me personally, that's the best way to lead, man. You can't always sit back and write a script and tell everybody what to do, man. Sometimes you got to get out there and show them. And I feel like this program and these group of guys really went out there and showed the standard, the new standard of ASU football, man. And Coach Dillingham is not going to let that drop whatsoever.
So now that the college portion of your career is over, 6 years, 2 schools, 2 college football playoff runs in there as well. Um, how do you kind of summarize the ride that your time in college was for you?
Man, it was great, man. I feel like out of my 6 years, I went to 5 bowl games. Played against, you know, national champions, Heisman Trophy winners. Um, really, it's just been a surreal experience, man. Looking back all the way to my freshman year to now, man, I can honestly say that I've came a long way, man. I've I've grown not only on the field but off the field as well. Um, and the transition coming to ASU, man, I really had no idea what to expect. I was coming off a 3-9 season. They were coming off a 3-9 season. You bring in a bunch of guys, and normally when you know flip an entire roster through the transfer portal, it doesn't click right away, man. But when you have a bunch of the right people and surrounded by the right coaches, it makes everything. I don't know. It makes everything just gel and work together, man. So my 6 years have been definitely a roller coaster of emotions for sure. There's been times where, oh, I hate this. I'm calling my dad after practice, man. I'm not having fun, and things like that, man. And then there's times where I call my dad after practice and was like, this is the best day I've ever had, man. So definitely a roller coaster of emotions, man. But I don't think that I would change anything if I had the opportunity to go back, man. I feel like my story was made for me, man, and I'm excited how it ended and how it went.
Bunch of sacks in your career. Which one was your favorite in college?
Oh, which one was my favorite? Let's see. Hmm. I probably have to say it's either between the one-arm sack in Colorado on fourth down, or when I just mauled the tight end from West Virginia and just lifted him off his feet. Probably one of those two for sure.
So obviously, in those 2 years, you've had such an impact and been part of such a team that really truly activated the Valley. What's it been like just to see the fan base get activated, embrace you guys, and everything that you collectively were able to do on the field?
Man, I think I talked about this a little bit last time, man. When I first got out here and you're in the community and you see people and you're like, hey man, I play football at ASU, and they're, oh, okay, that's cool. And then you have the season like you do, and you go to the college football playoff, and then the next year you see the entire stadium packed every single game. You can't go out in the community without being recognized by somebody, going to the mall or going to the movies or anything like that. And everybody, you can visually see the shift in the engagement from the fans and from the community. Knowing you're a part of changing that, man, is probably like one of the greatest feelings, man. Bringing like Coach Dilly's vision to life. Like when I got here, it was we're the sleeping giant, man. And like seeing that actually happen, man, like seeing it actually come to fruition, man, is definitely like one of probably like the best parts of my career, man. Actually having the opportunity to change a university. When I got to Cincinnati, my first year there, we were 10-0. COVID year, first year there, 10-0 Peach Bowl. Next year, college football playoffs against Alabama. So it's like the standard was already set. Now it was my job to live up to it. Coming over here, I got to raise the standard. Like I got to be a part of a team that brought the university back to life, man. And that's all you could ask for really in this game, man, is having fun, making an impact on the people around you, man. So that's always been a huge part to me.
So, of course, there's obviously some huge accomplishments on that macro level. But, when you look back, what are some of your favorite moments, whether they're on the field, off the field, just, your favorite time or moments as a Sun Devil?
Man, really hanging out with the guys, man. Big 12 championship was great. Playing in the Peach Bowl for the second time was great, but really, having those one-on-one conversations with guys, man, getting to learn people, you know, getting opportunities to go to places like Camp T. Like that was probably the most fun. And it's crazy because like there's nothing up there and I'm a city guy. So it's like that was probably one of the most fun things to me, man. Especially like we have a tradition where when you go up there, you write a letter to yourself in a year. So my first year, I wrote a letter. When I went back up there and I got to read my letter, I probably almost started crying, man. It was crazy. But like doing things like that, man, or I feel like without college football, those are things that like many people don't really get to experience. Many people don't really get to, you know, to go into the wilderness and bond with a group of people for a week straight. Like there's nothing else to do than be around your teammates, man. And I feel like that's what makes our team so unique. Nobody, I mean, nobody would say they go up there and love Camp T and the living situations and things like that, man. But everybody understands the importance of it and why we need to do it. And that's where things you start to see a program change, man. When people bought in and people understand the why, that's probably the funnest thing to me, man. I feel like I came over here and I fell in love with football again. I fell in love with being a great teammate, man. Not just on the field, but off the field, being able to, you know, bond with these guys was a huge part to me for sure.
You mentioned his vision a moment ago. Kenny Dillingham come returning to his alma mater and inheriting a pretty rough situation, but in short order has it back and on a really positive trajectory. What kind of impact has Kenny Dillingham had on your life?
Man, man, it's crazy because I remember when he first FaceTimed me when I was in the portal. I thought Coach Dilly was a GA. Like I had no idea who he was, what was going on at ASU. I knew nothing about the state of Arizona, anything like that, man. And getting a chance to come on a visit and meet with him and see like how energetic he was and how much he loves the game of football and how smart he is, man. I was like, man, it sounds like all the things that I enjoy doing, man. So getting to finally be around a head coach that cares about you. Like Coach Dilly, like I feel like he said this a couple weeks ago. He was like, he doesn't know people's jersey numbers because he knows their name. Like it matters to him. And like being around a guy where you can feel like the energy, like you can feel him care about more than just the game of football, and then be able to flip the switch and be very intense with the game of football. Like I feel like it was the best of both worlds for me, man. I got to come over here. I got to be myself. I got to be energetic at times. There was great days, there was bad days, but in the end, man, I feel like Coach Dilly like not only made me a better football player, but he gave me a better perspective on life, man. And a lot of the values and a lot of the things that I learned from not only him but his coaching staff, I feel like it'll stick with me long after my playing career is over.
What's your favorite Dilly story?
Favorite Dilly story. There's a lot of them. I remember one time, my first fall camp, it was like we had like competition Friday or whatever, and he comes in and like can't hit a wiffle ball at all. Like, like I feel like Coach Dilly is all brains, but like he'll tell you different. I don't think there's an athletic bone in his body. He'll tell you completely different, man. But he thinks he's the best basketball player in the world, man. But I just love everything. Like I don't have anything bad to say about this program. I feel like this was, like I said before, like the best 2 years of my entire career.
What are you going to miss most about being a Sun Devil in Tempe every day?
Coming in the building, I mean, things tend to get, a little monotonous when you got to come in and do the same things every day, the same 7:20 meeting every single day and the same position meetings, and you're watching the same field. But like when you get removed from it, those are the things you miss the most, man. You miss going into the locker room and just cracking jokes with whoever. It doesn't even matter who it is. Like just being around those guys, them, the training staff, the nutrition staff, the support staff, everybody. I felt like Coach Dilly did like a phenomenal job putting this entire organization together. Like there's not one thing that doesn't mesh, and everybody gets along with everybody. Travel games, being in the hotels with the guys and doing things like that. I don't know if I could really pinpoint one thing that I'm gonna miss the most, man, but definitely all of those memories and all of the time. I don't think there was a day I went into that building and didn't laugh. So that's probably what I miss a lot too.
So for any players out there, whether they're coming in through the portal, high school recruits, just what would you tell about anyone, tell to anyone that's considering Arizona State and becoming a Sun Devil?
Man, I can't speak for a lot of staffs, man, but one thing I can say that this staff is true to whatever they tell you. Some people, they get frustrated. Coach told me this, and when I got on campus, that didn't happen. That does not happen at ASU. They are very transparent. They are very upfront. Whether it's positive or negative, man. This is how life is, man. So I love the fact that this is a very honest staff, and there's places where you left out the loop on what's going on in the building and stuff like that. It's not like that here, man. So being able to, if I can give one piece of advice, man, if you want to go and talk to somebody that you don't think will be SU or anything like that, or you don't want to be SU, and you don't want anybody to sugarcoat anything with you, if you want the brutal and honest truth, man, ASU is the place to go. And this staff is only going to get better, man. If you're a wide receiver, who doesn't want to play for Heinz Ward? Like, come on, man. Like, you come be a D lineman. Dyron Reynolds, like, do you see his resume? Like, the things that he's done, like, you get to surround yourself with people like this every single day. Where else would you want to be? That's my advice, man.
All right. So, looking ahead now, of course, chasing those NFL dreams. At this point, have you heard any kind of, preliminary feedback about, maybe how teams are viewing you at this point?
Man, I mean, I heard a little bit from my coaches that, some scouts have been asking about me, especially it started ramping up a little bit more as the season was coming to an end. Scouts are asking about me, and they love that my versatility. I'll probably be an interior D lineman for the most part at the next level, so I'm focusing on getting my weight up a little bit. And but those are the things that I've been hearing a lot, man. That they love my versatility, they love my motor, and Coach Ward told me that, at the next level, loving football is huge, man. And they love that I'm a football player, man. I'm not just an edge, or I'm not just a 3-tech, man. I'm like clay, man. You can mold me and do whatever you need. I can do whatever you need me to do in any scheme, man. So I feel like that's what coaches have been saying about me. But me personally, man, at the end of the day, man, you gotta control what you can control, man. So coming out here, head down, grinding, removing myself from all distractions and the fun things that Arizona has to offer. You got to get away a little bit, man. So coming out here and secluding myself and just staying focused. I feel like in a couple months at the pro day, man, I'll be able to do my thing for sure.
It's kind of like the Rocky IV training montage. He's out in the cabin in the middle of the of some snowy hellscape and just working on training old school.
Yeah.
Over these next few months, what is it that you really want to dive into? The things that you're going to be focusing on, and ultimately, throughout the the workouts and the interviews, what are the things that you want to show these 32 NFL teams over these next few months?
Man, that I'm passionate about this game, man. That I'm not only a one-dimensional person, man. I'm a guy that can bring a lot of energy to any locker room, man. I'm a guy that loves being around the game, that loves to learn, is very coachable. Me personal goals and things like that, I'm trying to gain weight and lose body fat at the same time. So it's a difficult thing to do, man, but I feel like I love difficult things to do. So being able to come out here and challenge myself with things like that. And pro day training, getting faster, getting stronger, and things like that, man. So those are really my goals, and those are really the things that I want to see myself improve in, and do whatever I can to give myself a shot, man. I don't think that I was super high on anybody's draft board, but that's okay, man. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I feel like I'm gonna end up right where I'm supposed to be as well, man. So I'm excited for what the future holds, and I can't wait to see how I do.
So what advice would NFL draft prospect Justin Wodtly, armed with 6 years of experience and wisdom, tell true freshman Justin Wodtly, stepping foot and just beginning the college journey?
Man, I feel like everybody says this and nobody ever believes it, but it's going to go by so fast. Like 6 years, I still remember like my first collegiate tackle in my second season against Murray State. Like I still remember things like that. Like, and there'll be like, you'll be chilling and then you'll get these like flashbacks and these little memories and you'll be like, dang, that was 5 years ago. So it's like, enjoy. Some advice that I give my freshman self is really enjoy being where your feet are. And I feel like I did that a lot this season. Enjoy being around the people that you're around, man, because if you're always too busy looking at what's next or how am I going to get here, you're going to miss all the moments that you have right in front of you. So slow down, man. Have fun with it. You know, not everybody is gonna, get on the field their first snap of their college career, man. So don't get discouraged, man. Stick to the grind, work on perfecting yourself, man, and don't be in competition with anybody. At the end of the day, everything is you versus you.
So, hopefully, 10, 15 years down the road after a lengthy NFL career, you come back to Tempe and ASU fans see you. How do you hope you remember? What kind of legacy do you hope now that, your time as a Sun Devil is complete? What kind of legacy do you hope you left for the fans here in Tempe?
Man, I hope that the fans in Tempe see that I did my best to leave this place better than I found it. I hope that they seen that I was very passionate about this game and that there wasn't one play or one game that I, took a rep off or anything like that, man. I gave it my all each and every time I stepped on that field, whether it was a practice field, whether it was a spring game, whether it was, excuse me, whether it was a actual game, playoff game, bowl game, whatever it was, I gave y'all everything that I had, man. And I couldn't be more prouder to play in maroon and gold and play for this university. I feel like this university not only changed my life, but changed my family's life, man. You never know, man. Who knows? It might be Wodtly bloodlines that can stay in Arizona, man. In the near future or anything like that, man. But being able to just have a university trust in me and love me as much as I love them, man. I just want to be remembered, man, for always being a light at the end of the tunnel, man, and being able to be passionate about these guys as much as they were passionate about me.
I'd like to thank Justin for taking the time to talk with me for this episode. Make sure you are subscribed here on YouTube as well as the podcast platform of your choice for more great sit-down series episodes all off season long. And make sure to follow me on all things social media at BDenny29.